students! Today we're going to be talking about Hitler. There is a rumor going around that Hitler was vegetarian. He was not. Let me show you an example of the kind of person who spreads these kinds of rumors. And of course, it's always somebody who still continues to pay for the rape, the torture, and the murder of innocent animals, and who doesn't want to look in the mirror and change their ways. It's unfortunate, because some of the things that these people on the right say I actually agree with. They are against censorship of unique and different ideas. I, as somebody who lost a platform on TikTok, can really understand the problems that they are going through. However, on this particular issue, it's very disappointing to hear Michael Knowles speaking out against veganism. In fact, this speech is from 2018, and hopefully he has watched some of the important documentaries by now, Earthlings and Dominion Movement, and has actually educated himself about what really goes on. By the way, if you enjoy these kinds of things, don't forget to subscribe. This is my shiny subscribe button, which changes every time because of the green screen. Subscribe to this channel and press the bell, and then we can watch these things together, and you guys can make your comments in the comment section below. Almost all of my videos are posted as premieres, and so I can read your comments, and I like doing that. Just make sure that you remain polite and that you don't tell any lies. That's the important thing. Otherwise, of course, you will be removed from the comment section. But that, no, is not censorship. That means you can go ahead and keep spreading your lies somewhere else, like he is, but not in my comment section. The comment section is for discussing the ideas of the video. So please keep that in mind as you're typing something. Okay, you're certainly welcome to ask questions and to state your opinions on things, but do not lie and do not speak out against the animals, because we are here to protect them. Let's listen to a little bit of this speech.
What we need to talk about is how vegans ruin everything. They ruin everything. There was a video, there were some nice British people just trying to enjoy a steak meal, maybe some delicious veal.
What? There's nothing. What? What do you mean enjoy? Enjoy eating dead bodies? Okay, what are you talking about?
Some, nice little delicious baby veal. And a bunch of vegans stormed in and hilariously tried to ruin their dinner. Here they are.
Oh, okay. So you think it is okay to pay for the rape, torture, and murder of these innocent animals, and you think it's okay to kidnap baby cows from their mothers and to murder them and serve them on a plate? Or do you think it's okay for yourself to just stab these baby cows just manually yourself and then just rip open their flesh and take a bite out of a baby cow? Is that what you're saying is okay? You would do that? You're talking about how they taste good. What makes animals taste good? The dead flesh is vegan food, vegan spices. Spices are vegan. And what you're saying is so hurtful to animals. They've never done a single thing to you. Why are you doing this? Is your taste pleasure more important, Michael, than the animals and how they feel?
The reason I bring it up, obviously, these vegetarian types are always a little excitable.
There's no vegetarian type. First of all, vegetarians still pay for the rape, torture, and murder of animals in the dairy industry and in the egg industry. One must be vegan to live morally in line with one's values. Being vegetarian is not a good idea. It's a terrible idea. It's not any different than being a carnist. You just end up eating twice as much cheese, twice as much yogurt, twice as much milk, because you're compensating for something that you think is missing. Far better to become fully vegan. That's the best thing to do. And I hope that you do that in the future, Michael.
But the reason I bring it up is to show the moral idiocy and the moral mistakes that can come when you hone in on one very minor aspect of the human life.
What do you mean the human life? We are talking about the lives of animals. What are you talking about, honing in on an aspect of human life? These protesters are asking for the rights of animals to not be hurt. What is wrong with that? Where is the downside of that? Everybody wins. The animals win, the environment wins, it is healthy for everybody, and we get to have a society that's peaceful. Instead of putting all these innocent animals by the billions and by the trillions, if you count the sea life, into these horrific conditions. Animals live in slaughterhouses at the end of their lives for the last few minutes, and before that they live in giant factory farms, huge Holocaust-like places that are like Auschwitz. They go into gas chambers if they're pigs. It is horrific. It's not okay. I don't understand how you're saying that this is somehow okay with you.
And you make an idol out of that, and you make that your god. You.
What are you talking about? Veganism has nothing to do with religion and God. Vegans are vegan because they are caring people and they have gone past their cognitive dissonance. You are right now experiencing cognitive dissonance. You think that you're enlightened because of this talk that you're giving, but the reality is that you refuse to look in the mirror and really say to yourself, do I really need to eat animals? Because the answer is no, you don't. The Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics has stated it clearly that anyone at any stage of development can be vegan. And so you can too. So if you know that and you deliberately hurt animals, that makes you a monster. Don't be a monster. Don't be like Hitler.
You turn into a moral idiot. You make a lot of errors. A lot of vegans, maybe all the vegans, seem to care more about animals than people.
Where do you get that from? Vegans come in all kinds of shapes and sizes. They come from all different religious backgrounds. They come from all places all around the world. You cannot just generalize that they are all the same. How does that make any sense to you?
We talked about this last week. How many vegans do you know who are pro-life? Probably not many. I know a lot of vegans who are pro-abortion, pro-choice, and yet they freak out if you eat an oyster. If you eat it, and the oysters matter. We'll get to that in a second. But plenty of immoral people can be vegetarians. Hitler was a vegetarian.
All immoral people are vegetarians. Being vegetarian is not good enough. We've just gone through this.
And Hitler loved dogs. He really loved...
Hitler also loved lots of people. He just didn't like certain types of people, just like you. You don't like certain types of people. You don't like certain types of sentient beings. You think that some deserve to end up on the fork and shoved into your mouth, and that's not okay.
I don't use this just as an example. You know, Hitler drank water, and Hillary Clinton drinks water, and therefore she's terrible. But I am pointing out Hitler, who is rightly considered one of the most evil figures in history, certainly.
That I'll agree with you. He was. What he did was horrible to the Jews and to other people. And that's why we must end this Holocaust for good, because the Holocaust never ended for the animals. They never did one single thing wrong, just like all the victims in World War II.
In modern history, did have this moral stance of being a vegetarian, and he loved animals. Some people are shocked by this. They say, "Oh my gosh, can you imagine? It's so strange. Why?" No, it makes perfect sense to me. He didn't really like humans very much, but he certainly liked animals. He mistook what mattered.
This is an absolute lie, what you're saying. There is no proof of this. In fact, there is proof to the opposite. Let's have a listen to a speech by Gary Yourofsky. Let's see.
Saturated
You know,
fat and
Hitler was a
trans.
vegetarian.
Hitler was not a vegetarian. That's a complete lie. A complete and utter lie from Goebbels, his propaganda minister. Hitler did have a lot of power, didn't he? If he had all this power that he had, why didn't he mandate veganism if he were a vegan or a vegetarian? Do you know that Himmler, the guy that constructed all the gas chambers,
I
was
don't
a
know,
chicken?
maybe
Was a
he
chicken?
wanted to slaughter Jews. This
Was
is
a
why
chicken
he had
farmer?
another idea, complete
Okay.
other idea.
Two of his biographers, Albert Speer and Robert Payne, talked about Hitler's love for liver dumplings and pigeon, which is known.
Exactly. people like Michael Knowles keep perpetuating this lie, and it is very harmful because the animals end up suffering because of that. This is the truth here, what Gary Yourofsky is saying.
Known as Squab. His main chef, Dion Lucas, wrote a book in 1964, the Gourmet School Cooking Book, and she wrote his favorite recipes, which were all meat-based recipes. This is the power of propaganda, the power of Goebbels, still alive and well.
Exactly.
Do you know why people think Hitler was veg? Goebbels wanted to make Hitler seem as peaceful as somebody else in the world at that time who was loved and adored. And his name was Mohandas Gandhi. And Gandhi was vegetarian. And Goebbels would say, wait, Hitler's just like Gandhi. He loves animals too. And he's peaceful to the animals and he's a vegetarian. He's not. And just so you know, all the concentration camps did have animal slaughterhouses there too.
All right. I hope that sets you straight, Michael Knowles. If anybody is interested in continuing to do some learning, you can follow this website by Gary Yourofsky. It's called Adapt, and it is spelt A-D-A-P-T-T. 2 T's at the end. You can see here that there are some interesting photos and also a lot of different quotes. There is no struggle. There is no progress. Those who profess to favor freedom and deprecate agitation are men who want crops without plowing the ground. They want rain without thunder and lightning. Power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did and it never will. And that is why those protesters were there in the restaurant. That is why it is so important that people do these disruptive actions. Because of them, Michael Knowles is now talking about veganism, and because of him, many other people are becoming aware and Googling vegan recipes and learning the truth. So, continue to do your disruptions. Continue to be like Gary Yourofsky and read his website here. He talks about all the different things, including the fact that there are more than one Holocaust in the world. Have a look at his site. It's extremely interesting and enlightening. He also, at the bottom here, has a lot of different other articles about ethics, about pigs, rabbits, sheep, and goats, about chickens and eggs. He talks about the cows and what they go through. He talks about the dairy industry and how horrible it is. He talks about turkeys and ducks and geese and how poor geese are force-fed for foie gras. He talks about fish and how they do feel pain. He talks about bees and how we have no right to take their honey. He talks about the animal skins that we take and put onto coats like Canada Goose and Rudsack just for a decoration. It is absolutely horrible. Foxes, minks, and other animals like coyotes are often anally electrocuted, or they suffer greatly for their entire lives just for fur. Gary Yourofsky talks about animal agriculture and the environmental destruction, and about how world hunger is related to all of this. He talks about pesticides and palm oil, and he says that it is important to know that humans are herbivores, and that we should be eating plants because we can. So why hurt other sentient beings if we don't have to? You can go to the store, and here are some demonstrations, some examples of different protein that we can eat, and he talks about, again, Hitler and vegetarianism and how both are evil. Have a look at Gary's site. Gary Yourofsky, animals deserve absolute protection today and tomorrow. Adapt. Adapt with 2 T's. Keep it on your list. And also, keep handy that video that I just showed you. It's a handy one to show when people keep spreading this lie that Hitler was apparently a vegetarian, which he wasn't. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and press the little button. We're going to hang out. We're going to learn a lot about different things. We're going to go over Gary's stuff. We're going to learn about veggies, fruits, nuts, seeds, about health, about protein. We're going to learn about the environment. We're going to be reviewing different people, different vegan presenters, and different animal haters. And, as usual, please remember that cow's milk is for baby cows. There you have it. It's my mug that I always have handy. I drink water in it, or oat milk, or soy milk. Those are my preferences. What are yours? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for the moderators who are consistently here during these premieres, and also thank you to everyone who is polite. You are most welcome in my comment section. As long as you remain polite, you can say whatever you want, but don't lie. If you lie, you'll be removed. And if you're impolite, you will be removed. Hopefully, you're starting to get the clicks. It takes 100 clicks until you're vegan. It has to hit your head. It has to hit your heart. And then, when everything is aligned, you know there's only one thing to do. Become vegan from now on. If you're interested in following my Instagram, it's That Vegan Teacher, Miss Katie, and it's spelled Katie, Kadie. Thank you so much for being here. I love you. Bye. Do, 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 do.